All right, everybody. It's 4 p.m. on Monday afternoon, and so we're back here with Fun in the Locker Room. My name's Truett. I'm joined by my amazing co-hosts, Liam Holloway, Sean Rankle. We have a lot to talk about today. A lot of football, a lot of baseball. Everything's kind of heating up. We're going to start with the weekly takeaways. We had a very interesting, very exciting slate of games, and we're going to get to all of them. Sean, I'm going to start with you. What's your takeaway from this past Sunday?
In my opinion, the biggest game of the weekend was definitely the Rams-Cardinals game, and I think the Cardinals showed out why they are the best team in the NFL and why they are the favorites to also not only win the NFC West. Kyler Murray is a favorite to win MVP, and the Cardinals should be the favorite to represent the NFC in the Super Bowl.
I can't disagree with you on that. And we'll get to the Cardinals in a minute and the entire NFC. Liam, what about you?
Well, first, I just want to congratulate Sean on his Giants securing their first win. Also, to any Jets fans out there, congrats on their first win as well. My takeaway from the weekend, even though they lost, the Panthers will be a wild card team without CMC. I think they're going to be fine. They lost to a Cowboys team, which has proven to be pretty good so far this season. Almost won. And a lot of people are sleeping on the Panthers. It's a weak division. They only have the Buccaneers. The Saints are still a big question mark. And the Falcons, well, the Falcons aren't very good. But I think the Panthers will make the playoffs.
All right, I like that prediction. I'm going to go to the AFC for my prediction. We're going to go AFC North is wide open. And a couple reasons for that. We'll get to the Steelers, but I think it's kind of well known now the Steelers are really just not going to be good this year. The Browns, great defense, kind of being led by their defense with Myles Garrett and Jadeveon Clowney doing damage on the opposing offenses, but the offense is definitely just not picking up their portion. The Ravens, with all the, I mean, it seems like they're figuring it out with Latavius Murray. He played well, and Lamar Jackson's always going to keep you competitive. But I don't know if they have what it takes with so many injuries to get there. And then the Bengals are still question marks. So I think the AFC North, which has kind of just always been dominated by the Steelers and the Ravens for a large part of a decade, I think it's going to be wide open this year.
So I guess I'm curious. I want to hear you guys' takes on this. Who would you pick to come out of the AFC North currently?
Go Bengals, baby. Go Bengals.
Really?
Why do you say that?
Why not? I mean, it's a fun team to believe in. I mean, I'm going to be honest. I'm no expert when it comes to football, but they have a young core there. They're fun to watch. That LSU connection that everybody talks about is so cliche. I mean, their defense has not allowed a lot of points. 75 points allowed. Besides the Browns in that division, second least. I don't know.
But
Bengals are a fun team.
They did just almost lose to the winless Jaguars.
I mean, almost lose. That doesn't matter. The Bucks almost lost to the Pats. Tom Brady almost lost in his castle at Gillette Stadium. So, I don't know. Win's a win. They're all 3-1 right now.
Are they all 3-1?
They are.
Are you counting the Steelers out already?
The Steelers, we've talked about this last show. Until they get a quarterback, they're not making any noise. But yeah, I'm taking the Bengals.
I'm going to go Browns with this one just because they've showed the last year, 2 years that they can put together winning stretches of football. The offense is not really, it's kind of in a slump right now, not really picking up where it left off in the playoffs last year. But I trust Baker Mayfield, and I like the duo of Kareem Hunt and Nick Chubb as in the running backs, and obviously the defense has just been absolutely dominant. Giving up 14 points to the Vikings this past Sunday is obviously very impressive. Myles Garrett continues to make an argument for DPOY, and I like Clowney. Clowney kind of, it seems like he's kind of found his role as a second option. It's tough when he's the main D lineman that people are game planning for, especially like when he was in Seattle and he was the main guy on the D line. I think he had like 3 sacks in the year. Didn't really have any success. But now that everyone's focusing on Myles Garrett for good reason, Jadeveon Clowney's continuing to do damage. So I think the Browns' offense is going to find its rhythm. Right now, they're being carried by the defense. I think that's fine. To go 3-1 just based off your defense is fine right now.
Well, it's not only on their defense. They did put up 31 points against the Texans and 33 points against the Chiefs. So they have put up scores. Plus 26 against the Bears is nothing to laugh about.
Yeah, I agree with that. But my pick is the Browns. What about you?
I would agree with you. As much as it pains me to admit, I'm not a big Browns fan. I actually hate the Browns. They annoy me, but I would probably pick the Browns to win the division outright, and it's just because their offense. Baker Mayfield's a very talented quarterback. It's actually surprisingly, I've seen their offense has slumped since OBJ came back, so I don't know if that's just a reason, getting more assimilated to the offense, figuring out how to use him because he's a very talented player. And I just think the Browns probably the best chances in the division. Like, Lamar Jackson's streaky, teams come in with a good defense, just stop the run, and you can stop the Ravens. And the Bengals, while I do like Joe Burrow, are still a very young team. I don't think I trust them just yet. And so the Browns are probably my favorite pick to win the division.
Yeah, I like that. Let's go back to your prediction when you were talking about the Cardinals. So you see the Cardinals not only, I'm assuming you see them winning the NFC West?
Oh, absolutely.
And the NFC.
Yes. And going into the game, I would have easily picked the Rams. The Rams, I thought, were probably the favorites to win the NFC West. Matthew Stafford is playing well all year, but Kyler Murray went in there, and he played very well against a very good Rams defense. And the Cardinals as a whole just came out there and smoked them. And it's surprising a little bit, but if you look at the talent on the Cardinals team, like their wide receivers, DeAndre Hopkins, AJ Green, like they have the talent around Kyler Murray to make a big push in this year.
You guys think Cardinals could go undefeated?
No.
I think they'll drop a game.
They're going to drop a game at some point. I think they probably dropped the Rams game when they played in LA.
Yeah.
You think they could win 16 games, 15, 16 games?
Yes.
Yeah.
Their running backs, you shouldn't sleep on their running backs. Chase Edmonds and James Conner are really doing some serious damage for them. And when you have, it's a bit of a running back by committee. I don't know who starts on the team. It's probably Edmonds, and also Kyler Murray is such a running threat. But I think the more impressive thing is, you're a Cardinals team who you're losing Larry Fitzgerald to retirement. Patrick Peterson's gone. He was there for so long, but you're kind of, signing these veterans like AJ Green to fill roles that you need. A lot of veterans making, big presences, and obviously you have stars in your defense in Budda Baker and Chandler Jones. And then
J.J. Watt's still there.
And J.J. Watt, yeah. How could we forget about J.J. Watt? So that defense is no joke. We just talked about the offense. I don't think there's much more that needs to be said. Kyler Murray is the real deal. Sean, what did you?
I think he's the leader to MVP going for the rest of the season.
We were talking before the show about how he just passed
Patrick Mahomes for the odds. Like, he's now the odds-on favorite.
Wow.
Which is kind of crazy, but between what Patrick Mahomes has done this year and I guess Matthew Stafford was also favorites this year, and Kyler Murray just beat him out right. So I think Kyler Murray should be the favorite.
Interesting. Do you think best two teams, Rams, Cardinals, out of the NFC?
No. There's a team called the Tampa Bay Buccaneers,
you think the Buccaneers
with Tom Brady, which I would never bet against, never count out, and he is probably the second best. They are probably the second best team in the NFC.
So where you go, Cardinals, Bucks, Rams?
Yeah. Maybe the Packers. You got to throw the Packers in there. The Packers have played very well since the terrible first game, but since then they have played just unstoppable.
So, Sean, before this past Sunday, did you have the Rams as the better team?
Yes.
So this game kind of changed your decision?
Yeah, if you go head-to-head, and Cliff Kingsbury coached very well. I know a lot of Cardinals fans have not been a big fan of Cliff Kingsbury so far in his young tenure as the Cardinals head coach, but he's definitely coming into his own this year. The play calling, his motivation, just everything about this Cardinals team, they just seem ready to take the next step forward and become one of the elite teams in the NFL. And maybe get their first Super Bowl win this year.
That'd be exciting. So no love for the Niners or Seahawks?
Well, the Niners currently have a problem with Jimmy G. Is Jimmy G healthy? Can Jimmy G keep playing? How much faith do you have in this Niners offense under Trey Lance? I know he's played well in
He did play well.
He's played well in limited spurts, but they brought him in so the first 3 games this year, they've played him as a running quarterback, Taysom Hill type of guy, not letting him throw the ball. So how much faith do you have in the 49ers with letting Trey Lance throw the ball? And then the Seahawks, they're just up and down. They're inconsistent. Some days you look at them and like, wow, how does this team 2-2? But there's other games you look at them and like, oh, that makes sense why they're 2-2, and it just, you never know what you can get each Sunday with them. Yeah,
I was telling this to somebody the other day. I think the Seahawks are the kings of the 3-and-out. I think that's the amount of 3-and-outs I've seen. And I don't know if it's the play calling. I saw somewhere that the Seahawks offensive play calling has just gone too predictable, and I can totally see that. It's a lot of just because Pete Carroll loves to establish the run. He's one of those type of coaches. It's a lot of run on first down, get 2 yards, incomplete, pass on second down, and now you're looking at 3rd and 7, or many times it's Russell Wilson drops back on second down, gets sacked. Now you're looking at 3rd and 15, and they don't complete those very often. So the O line has always been an issue. The defense, I hate to say, well, I don't hate to say this, but I'm surprised to say this, that Jamal Adams is just from the eye test has looked really good this year. Bobby Wagner continues to look good. The D-line is actually probably the strength to the Seahawks, which has been an issue, and that's why they tried to bring people in like Clowney and way back Sheldon Richardson. But I know I wouldn't be surprised if the Seahawks become the 4th seed.
Do you think they can make the playoffs?
What is it? It's 3 wild cards, right? So
Yeah.
that's 7 teams.
Yeah.
So give me your 7 teams.
Well, the 7 teams, there's the Buccaneers, the Giants.
Oh
All right.
God!
All right.
God.
Liam, give me your 7.
Okay.
Give me your 7 teams, Liam.
We go Packers, North, Bucks, Cardinals. That's the start. Division winners. I guess I don't know. NFC East still is a toss-up, but right now Cowboys look good. Excuse me. So those are 4 right there. Obviously the Rams. I already said it. Panthers will be sneaking in.
So that's 6.
One more spot.
You have the Saints,
Man,
the Seahawks.
as much as I want my Saints to make the playoffs, I kind of want them to tank a little bit. I think it's time to go get a big player in the draft. But I don't know. I don't think anyone out of the East is making it again.
No way.
Sean,
It's a one team.
I guess we go. It could go anywhere. Vikings are 1-3, but they've lost their first 2 games on both single
the
possessions.
Niners. You're not thinking about the Niners?
Niners could make it. Niners have a tough schedule. Still have to play the Rams and Cardinals. Is it twice?
I don't think they play them yet.
Yeah, they have to play them both twice. So it's gonna be 4 losses. But I'll take Vikings to get that.
So there you go. That's the answer right there.
So I guess not.
I mean, Vikings and Seahawks did play.
Are the Seahawks
Yeah.
above
and
500?
Dalvin Cook wasn't even playing that game.
That's why I'm taking the Vikings.
Are the Seahawks above 500? Are they going to finish the season with a winning record, or are they missing the playoffs and is Pete Carroll's seat getting a little hotter, considering they've lost in the first round a couple times in this?
So they're 2-2 now. They got to play the Rams this week, so that's 2-3. That leaves you with 4 more divisional games. I say they take 1, maybe 2 of those. Probably another one off the Niners, and maybe 1 off the Rams. Maybe. No, I could honestly. What is it? 17 games this year.
Mm-hmm.
I could see them going
9-8, 8-9.
Yeah.
8-9. I think 8-9.
Mediocre.
Maybe 9-8, which is tough because they usually eclipse at least 10 wins.
Yeah.
But this division is just way. I mean, they are the defending NFC West champions,
Which is kind of crazy. I completely forgot about that.
Which is
I
crazy.
just looked that up because I forgot.
but I don't think they're repeating this year. Not by a long shot, unless something seriously happens. If the Cardinals or the Rams fall off a cliff or come back to earth, or the Seahawks figure out how to score in the 4th quarter. I don't know, but I mean, we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah.
All right. Should we move on to Monday Night Football? We have a great game tonight. Great game.
Huge game.
Raiders are looking to go 4-0 for the first time since 2002,
When they won the Super Bowl.
when they did win the Super Bowl. The game is in L.A. The line is -3 for the Chargers. Let's just recap the predictions. We've been doing predictions every week on the Monday Night games. Liam, 1-2. Sean and I are tied for 2-1. I believe I was the only one that won last week.
You were, yeah.
What was the game last week?
Cowboys-Eagles.
Cowboys-Eagles.
Oh, yeah,
And
that-
everyone thought the Eagles were coming in. Cowboys, I think, were up by 30 at one point.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
it
was
was
a huge
not-
blowout.
not
Not
pretty.
So I am a
Not
Dak Prescott fan, so that might be a
pretty.
while. But what do we think? Who wants to start?
So I guess the line is Chargers -3 against the Raiders in LA. I am taking Chargers -3. I think Justin Herbert is an amazing quarterback, and he's going to prove it out here today. I think the Raiders are a soft 3-0 and are going to lose tonight.
Sean, I think that is a soft pick. It's an easy pick because the Chargers, they're good. I don't know. I think you got to believe. They're playing at home. Raiders playing really well. Chargers have not put up a lot of points. Raiders defense has been looking really good. I say you believe. I'll take the Raiders. Not only to cover, but to win this game. That's my prediction.
Wow.
Yeah.
A lot of faith in Derek Carr.
I just want to see something special, you know? I think that division is going to come down to the wire, and this is the start of it.
Who's down to the wire? Who do you think is winning the division?
It's between... Raiders win this game. They're going on a tear. 4-0. Chargers at 2-2, and the Chiefs at 2-2.
Yeah, and we'll get to the Chiefs.
Yeah,
later
I
in the
need to
show.
talk about the Chiefs.
We'll get to the
too.
Chiefs later in the show
But
because we have, I think, a lot of things. I think we need to apologize to Andy Reid a little bit. But for now, for this game,
Yeah.
I want to ask, who's the better quarterback?
Obviously,
Herbert.
you trust in Justin Herbert more. I just want to throw this out there, though. You have 3 teams in the entire NFL that have not scored 70 points this season. One being the Jets, the other being the Steelers, and the other being the Chargers.
Really?
Yes. And as much as it pains me to say, I don't think my fantasy quarterback is going to come into L.A. and win this game. I'm taking Raiders.
All right, so I guess we're split, Truett. How are you feeling about this game today?
I like the Chargers. I like Justin Herbert. I like Eckler. But the Raiders are just one of those teams. It always seems like in prime time they just show up and they show out. And honestly, it does seem like a trap line for Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
Minus 3 is a very small line for the Chargers. But at the same time, people who are looking at this line see that the Raiders are 3-0, right? So is it easy to take +3? I think I'm going to go Raiders too.
Yeah.
I think, but I could easily see it coming down to the last possession, and it might be a touchdown that gives the Chargers a 4-point lead, and that ruins the line. But
I could also see the Chargers winning by 2 or more scores. But
Well, we'll come back next Monday, and I'll be up 3-1 in this.
okay.
So you are Chargers,
I'm a Chargers.
and we're Raiders.
Chargers,
Okay,
Raiders.
okay. I mean, the Raiders have some impressive wins on their resume.
They do. They played well, but I think the Chargers offense, I have a lot of faith in.
baby.
I'm a big Justin Herbert fan.
As am I, but we'll see. We'll see how far one player can take you. We will get right back to football after this quick PSA. Thursday, October 7th, the Jonas Brothers are actually appearing live at the BB&T Pavilion in Camden as part of their Remember This tour with special guest Kelsey Ballerini. A negative COVID-19 test is required within 72 hours of the event to attend. For ticketing information, visit livenation.com. All right, guys, so we talked about that we were going to get back to the Steelers-Packers. I think that was a pretty exciting game. Score didn't really reflect that too much, but two teams trending in very opposite directions. Which team do we want to start with?
I guess start with the Steelers. I guess the question is out there: should the Steelers bench Big Ben, and will they? And what would it take for him to be benched? Because he's not getting benched this week. But can you imagine a scenario where Big Ben gets benched for Mason Rudolph, or I guess Dwayne Haskins is also there, so they could bench him for Dwayne Haskins.
Is there any chance Steelers could get Deshaun Watson?
Nobody's cheering for them this year.
Okay.
I did see some rumors about. I saw a couple of memes about Aaron Rodgers coming to the Steelers in the offseason, so that could be an idea for the Steelers to pursue. Because other than a quarterback, I feel like that's all they're really missing. Their defense hasn't played well this year, but overall, I consider that a good defense in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
So I think they're a quarterback away from being competitive again. So, but this year in general, I don't see it.
I totally agree with you, Sean. And that division, I think, is way too strong. Big Ben he's not an NFL quarterback anymore. I said this last week.
He's not mobile enough.
He's not mobile.
He's like a lumberjack out there just rolling around.
It's honestly kind of embarrassing to watch him out there. Like I said, he's like the drunk uncle at a barbecue. It's just interesting to see him out there against NFL defenses that he just can't handle anymore. And I love Big Ben. I thought he was great quarterback his entire career.
Hall of Fame quarterback, yeah.
Yeah.
Time has been up. They should have moved on, and they didn't, and they are paying for it.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think we're all under the consensus Big Ben's not really a winning quarterback. Whether he's playable or not, I don't know. He's kind of been losing games for them, but at the same time, I don't think Mason Rudolph's going to come in and do any better. Is Duck Hodges still in the roster?
No, but Dwayne Haskins.
Dwayne Haskins. So starting Dwayne Haskins kind of it sends a message of where you're at as an organization.
Right, but Dwayne Haskins is young. I would give
True.
Dwayne Haskins another chance
but
out there.
Then you're kind of saying this season's going to be a Dwayne Haskins development season.
No, it's not a Dwayne Haskins development season. It's a Dwayne Haskins testing out season.
Testing
See if you
out
have
season.
a guy there, which I think you have to do.
Yeah. I think that we should also talk about how when it was the Antonio Brown, Le'Veon Bell days, that O-line was really good. And I don't think that O-line's the same anymore.
They're not.
So quarterback away, O-line away, which is obviously hurting the run game too.
Yeah, Najee Harris is.
But
He's
you
getting
also
hit.
just kind of have to ask the question, like, this was a pretty heavy quarterback draft, this past one, right? There was a lot of quarterbacks in the first round.
There's 5, I believe.
5. So, I mean, they could have made a move for one.
I think it was a mistake down. They're gonna regret it because
I agree.
as a Giants fan, I'm no longer worried about Daniel Jones, but in the beginning of the season I was. And looking at the upcoming QB draft class, it's bare pickings. It's a bunch of
Yeah.
not top schools having quarterbacks coming out, and there's probably not a quarterback going number 1, or if he does go number 1, he does not deserve to be the number 1 overall pick. So it's not a good QB draft pick.
So then you have the issue, like, let's say you don't get Aaron Rodgers. You have another year of Big Ben?
No, there's guys out there because it's crazy how many quarterbacks are on the league nowadays. Because like Andy Dalton, you take Andy Dalton,
Yeah.
you take Jimmy Garoppolo. Trey Lance moves in, Jimmy Garoppolo's a guy. Like
Cam Newton he's sitting on his couch
That's
somewhere.
I
I
don't
was gonna
trust Cam
say.
Newton. Come on now.
That offense would be fun though. Receiving core and Najee. Oh man, be like Madden Ultimate Team.
Yeah, so, I mean, they had an impressive win week 1 and been trending downward ever since. Now let's, flip the side of the coin, and embarrassing loss week 1. Been playing insane, out of their minds. Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers. What do we think about that?
Well, I'm just glad they got their wake-up call week 1 because this team is way too good not to be good. Weapons all around the field, good defense. If Aaron Rodgers keeps playing the way he's been playing, he could vault himself into an MVP conversation if Kyler Murray starts to fall off a little bit. Love Aaron Jones. Devontae Adams still. It's him and Tyreek, I think,
Yep.
undoubtedly. 1 and 2. We'll talk about the Chiefs a little later. But yeah, the Packers are going in the right direction. It's their division to win. And yeah, they're looking good so far.
So I guess I came on the show the first week and I said to everybody relax and that the Packers are going to be
You
good.
did
and
say that.
You did
I
say
was
that,
right.
Sean.
I'm going to call my shot, and they are looking like a top team in the NFC, and they're looking like a team that can compete. Whether they can finish it off because they've been in the NFC Championship game back-to-back years and they've lost both of them, so let's see if they can actually finish it off this year. But they're one of the best teams in the NFC. They're a NFC favorite, and they're playing like that recently.
Yeah, I agree. Aaron Rodgers is just playing Aaron Rodgers football. The connection between him and Devontae Adams, they haven't missed a step since last season. Aaron Jones giving them the running game they need. I was totally concerned week 1.
Well, I just a random thought just popped in my head. Do you think we know Aaron Rodgers is a petty guy in general? Do you think he purposely just played terrible week 1 just to show Packers fans what you're going to miss when I'm gone? You have a bad quarterback here.
I don't know.
in Green
But
Bay.
the way he's been playing, it is interesting how bad he was week 1. But
He's just showing them now what they're going to miss next season when he's not around.
You think he's still leaving?
Oh, he's gone.
yeah,
There's no way he's
gone.
around.
he's been gone.
He's been gone.
But he is still, props to him for not just sitting out the whole season to preserve his body or whatever, and still just showing up. I think they're favorites again to win the NFC North. It's just another day of the office for the Packers. They're playing amazingly. We'll see what they can do against probably the Rams or the Cardinals in the conference championship. But I don't think there's much else to report. They're gonna probably win at least 13 games.
Yeah.
14 maybe.
I guess transitioning to like the opposite end of the spectrum in the NFL.
Yeah.
Like
Let's give you the center stage.
Giants
here.
and Jets have won their first each won their first game of the season, which is
Congrats.
amazing.
Congratulations.
Unexpected wins. I would not have expected when you looked at the schedule going into the season. I would not expect the first Giants win to come against the Saints, but I will gladly take it. And their offense looked amazing. Kadarius Toney, our first round pick this year, an animal on the field. The Saints could not tackle, and they were scared. They couldn't load the box against us because they had constant double teams. Malcolm Jenkins, every time they even looked at throwing at Kadarius Toney, the announcers were talking about it. Malcolm Jenkins was breaking towards him to stop the run after the catch, which was ridiculous for him. Kenny Galladay, finally, big money guy, big money wide receiver, and finally proved it this week. And we even were missing Sterling Shepard and Darius Slade, and we looked so good. And Saquon Barkley had himself a game. His run for the last touchdown, juking a couple guys, just showing his power at the end of the run to finish the run to the end zone. The Giants' offense looked the best they've had all season, And the other thing, Daniel Jones technically threw a pick this year. Threw a pick last game. It was the end of the first half, and I threw a Hail Mary and he got picked off, which I'm not counting as a pick. So if you ignore that pick, he has now gone 3 straight weeks without any turnovers. No fumbles, no picks, no nothing. He is really looking like the quarterback of the future.
400 yards.
And the Giants just need to build a team around him. He's the future. He's the answer.
So, Sean, you think this was the coming out party for the Giants offense rather than a Saints collapse?
Yeah, it was a coming out party. And they're going to prove it again next week in Dallas. And they're going to beat the Cowboys in AT&T Stadium. And the Giants are going to be 2-3. And it's going to be an amazing game.
I would love that for them. But I don't know, Sean. The Saints were up 21-10 with 7 minutes left and lost.
Let's get a read on the Saints.
It's more of a collapse.
What do you think?
Saints,
every other game they're good.
I mean, the big question mark is their offense. Their defense, quite honestly, has been really good this season. Besides this past game against the Giants, I think they lost in overtime. Didn't get the ball first. Stupid rule that needs to be changed.
And college football.
It's funny how the Saints always seem to be on the wrong end of that, But yeah, I'm not too worried about them.
Can you talk about the Saints? This is the first game.
Oh yeah,
back
that's true.
In New Orleans, and you play like that.
Yeah,
and you let the Giants, winless Giants, come in there and run you out of the building. How are you as a Saints fan acceptable?
Run you out of the building. We were up. We blew a lead.
What do you mean by that?
Yeah,
we ran through the last
7 minutes.
The last series in OT did not look like the Saints wanted to be out there.
The Saints,
we just marched on the field with such ease that's never been done by a Giants
Ever
team.
since they blew the lead, the game was over. I think we can agree on that. Defense, I don't know. The whole team's a question mark. Their defense is going to be good. It's just dependent on if their offense can win games. Taysom Hill had 2 tuds.
I think
about that.
Taysom Hill should be the quarterback.
Red zone man for sure. I like him in the red zone.
He threw a pick though on 3 pass attempts.
Well,
9 yards.
It's hard to criticize him for that because he's not throwing much. So
fair.
And they're throwing big plays with him, and that's about it. But
he's the gadget guy.
Is Jameis Winston the quarterback for the future?
No. Jameis isn't the quarterback for the future. Taysom is not either. I do like how they kind of went high school a little bit with Taysom in the red zone, though. It was fun to watch.
His touchdown run,
where
he ran through multiple Giants defenders, was insane.
They just need to use him like that, but it's hard to do that when you have Jameis Winston as your actual quarterback because neither of them can really throw. It's pretty obvious at this point. Then they're still missing their kicker, Will Lutz. So I don't know. Saints are just a question mark.
All right, let's move on to the other winless team, where we have kind of a similar situation. A team that just got their first win, and on the other side of the ball, a team that's a little concerning. Let's talk about the Jets first. Zach Wilson, welcome to the NFL, buddy. 297 yards, 2 touchdowns, and a pick, and a beautiful, beautiful throw to Corey Davis late in the game. Any thoughts on the Jets?
I saw an overreaction take that might not be an overreaction. Zach Wilson had the best performance in a game of any first-round pick this year. Any first-round quarterback, he's had the best performance in the game. What other first-round quarterback has in a game like this?
Yeah, that's...
Yeah, on paper that looks like a hot take, but
it's not.
It's really not.
No, it's not.
He just played the best game. Do you have the most faith in him? Do you have faith in Zach Wilson going forward? He showed he could do it.
Well, it's still the Jets.
It is the Jets, but the Titans. I know we're making fun of them, and they have not played well this year, but they're still a good team.
That's true.
The Titans?
Yeah.
Yeah. You want to talk about the Titans?
No, but I'm saying the Jets. Zach Wilson put these numbers up against a good Titans team.
Correct. Yeah, I wouldn't say a good Titans defense. Average at best. But, putting up 300 yards, 2 touchdowns is still impressive when you were a turnover machine coming into this game.
And his throws he was making,
Yeah. That Corey Davis throw was rolling out to his right, telling him go forward, and throws into double coverage, and, right where Corey Davis can get it.
Yeah.
And Corey Davis against his former team. He had to get a nice touchdown there. Yeah, I think, you can't overreact about the first couple games of Zach Wilson. I thought a game like this was going to come around eventually.
Peyton Manning led the league in turnovers his first year in the NFL.
Yeah.
Turnovers are going to happen. The game's a lot faster. They're trying to make reads. They're trying to do all these things, and you're looking for these bright spots if you're a Jets fan.
Yeah, and congrats to Robert Saleh. I am a Seahawks fan, but he was the Niners defensive coach, and I'm glad that now he's the head coach. He's getting a win. What about the let's call them the disappointing Titans? When you have so much firepower on one side of the ball, Julio Jones, A.J. Brown, Derrick Henry, Ryan Tannehill, what's going on with them? What's happening?
Well, Julio and AJ, were they out?
They were both out this week.
Okay,
But
that makes sense.
Other than that, the rest of the season they've just.
You still have Derrick
Yeah,
Henry,
that's
correct?
true. He went off.
Yeah.
150 yards, touchdown.
But Ryan Tannehill has not looked like the same quarterback.
No.
He's back, not all the way back to the Miami Dolphins years, but he's getting close to being back to the Dolphins years.
Yeah, when you don't have those two receivers to bail you out.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
How is that Titans O-line doing? Because, Derrick Henry, he's going to be fine regardless of an offensive line.
No, they're not a bad offensive line. They're above average.
I think the problem really is the defense.
Yeah.
Yes.
They
27 points to the Jets.
the winless Jets.
God.
They got shut out last week, right? The Jets.
I think they scored 41 points this season.
Yeah.
27 of them coming against the Titans.
Wow. Wow. So are we concerned about the Titans?
The Titans are not a contender. They're not a playoff team.
So that's a pretty weak division.
It's
a very weak division.
It's got to be the weakest in the NFL.
Titans, Texans, Jaguars, Colts.
Wow.
Just
And
bad
you guys
teams.
make fun of the NFC East. The
Yeah,
NFC
no,
East
this
looks
is bad this year.
Yeah.
But, so
Colts are probably the favorite.
really?
Who else?
The Colts just got their first win.
Who else would you consider the favorite? It's not the Texans.
It's got to be the Titans, right?
I think going into the season, without a doubt,
It was the
Yeah.
Titans.
Yeah.
But now, looking at it now,
Can't be the
I
Jags.
think it's
it's
still
not
the
the
Titans.
Jags. It's not the Texans. I think
I
it's the
think
Colts.
all those teams are just so bad. Texans lost 40 to nothing.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
it is the Colts
40
division.
to nothing.
Carson Wentz.
To the Bills, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the line was 17 going into the game. I was like,
Oh,
wow,
God.
that's big. But
Wow.
they won by 40.
Oh my God.
The Bills are also the
Talk
first
about the Bills.
team in, I think it's one of the first teams in NFL history to have 2 shutouts in their first 4 weeks.
Really?
Wow.
And if they're not the first team, the other 2 teams who've done it all went out to win the Super Bowl.
Wow.
So Bills consensus now the favorite AFC.
All right,
Really?
okay, hold on. We have to
dude.
cut to some commercials
Oh my
first, but
gosh.
we will get back into that because there is a AFC Championship game rematch very soon, and we do have to apologize to the Chiefs soon. So after these PSAs, we'll get to that.
Apologize.
Check out WXVU's anchor feed for on-demand Villanova interviews with Father Peter, J.J. Brown, Stephen Coach, Jared Brewer, and Kathy Gallagher as part of WXVU's Move-In Week coverage. Log on to wxvu.villanova.edu and click the link for our anchor feed to listen to the interviews.
To some, the sound of a baby babbling doesn't mean much, but that's not true. They're testing out vowels and consonants and trying different sounds. And by 12 months, their babbling is beginning to take on meaning, especially if there's no babbling at all. Little to no babbling by 12 months or later is just one of the possible signs of autism in children. Learn more at autismspeaks.org. Brought to you by Autism Speaks and the Ad Council.
Have a voice for radio? Need to get your hands on audio-video gear? Does journalism or writing interest you? How about photography and capturing memories? Villanova's media organizations are open to all majors and include 89.1 WXBU, VTV, Tech Crew, the Villanovan, and the Bel Air Yearbook. Come hang out with an awesome group of creative students and find your home in Villanova's media programs. Stop by Daugherty 102 to learn more. Brought to you by the Office of Student Involvement, Student Media Programs.
All right, dear Andy Reid, I want to apologize on behalf of all of us. I think we
On behalf of all of us, you can
On behalf
apologize.
of
Oh, okay,
all of us, I'm not apologizing
all right,
for
all
anything.
right. Sorry, let me rephrase this. I like to apologize personally. I counted the Chiefs out. I like the Chiefs. We've been saying the Chiefs are going to finish like second or third in the AFC West, which
And
is
they probably still will.
Yeah,
okay. All right, you know what? Okay, let me just say my 2 cents, and then we'll turn it over. So I really was impressed by the Chiefs. I mean, yeah, it's an Eagles team, but Mahomes 5 touchdowns, Tyreek Hill 3 touchdowns. I mean, the defense is still a question mark, but I don't know. I think we're being too hard on them. I'd love to hear what you guys have to say, though.
Truett, I don't think the defense is a question mark. The defense is bad. Defense
Terrible.
is horrible. Second most points allowed in the entire NFL. There's going to be weeks where you don't have Patty Mahomes to just take over games. You don't have Tyreek Hill to just take over games. They lose that game a lot of times.
They did this week what we knew they could do.
Yeah.
We knew Patrick Mahomes could throw, and we knew Tyreek Hill could run and catch. The question marks we still have about their running game and their defense have not been answered. This was
Clyde had
a
a good
great
game.
Yeah,
game.
Clyde did play well.
Played
he did
well.
play well, but
Against the Eagles.
it's the Eagles.
And their defense was bad against the Eagles.
Their defense was horrible. They've been horrible all season. You're not going to win. Come playoff time, you're not going to win with the defense that bad.
No love for Honey Badger.
No love.
No love.
No love.
Wow. So you guys are still set on, Chargers, Raiders 1 and 2, whatever order, and
Yes.
then
Here's my take.
Chiefs.
When the Raiders win tonight, I think it's cemented Chiefs come in third in that division.
wow.
Third's a little hot take. I'm
Not
probably
even
going
second?
I'm going second.
Chargers are going to beat them out too. Chargers have a great defense.
Wow.
And they'll figure it out on offense.
Very hot.
Yes.
So there's no way. I mean, okay. So what's their record right now?
2-2.
2 and 2. What do you see them finishing? I don't have the schedule up in front of me, but just give me an arbitrary number of wins.
So 17 games. They could
17
finish
games.
10-7, and still make. They're still going to make the playoffs. I have no doubt in that.
As the third seed?
Oh yeah.
In the
Look,
division?
Yeah, they can
A-
be.
It is a
AFC
little
is
weaker this
very,
year.
very
Yeah,
weak.
It's very weak.
I think you're going to have teams coming out of the north and the west.
Probably it.
South
the
and the
AFC,
east aren't coming.
No.
No teams.
No
yeah.
South.
No. Jeez. But yeah. So you think that Chiefs are good now, Truett?
Are they winning the division? Do you have them picked to win
Yeah.
the division?
No.
What's your pick with this?
I'm so mixed on the Raiders, even though I chose them to win tonight, and I like what Derek Carr's doing. It's just every year the Raiders get these impressive wins, but never really amount to anything when it's time for the playoffs, even if they make the playoffs. I don't know. The Chargers are still so new with everything, and I'm just so used to the Chiefs being so dominant. It's kind of hard for me to write them off so early in the season. If we were like week 8 or 9 and this was still a concern, and we can have that discussion when time gets to be. But I don't know. They made it to the Super Bowl with a pretty bad defense last year. So because and the Bills have a great defense, and it's just Patrick Mahomes just doing what he does. Which sometimes there are those players that can just take over a game like that. It's looking a little worse this year, just because the defense, those holes are a lot more glaring. But no, I can't say they're going to win the division. I can't say that, though. That being said,
Wow. All right. I guess switching gears.
yeah, let's move on to some MLB. A huge day the other day,
Okay.
right?
Yes.
Trivia question.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Trivia question.
Okay, so in the 4 major sports, what team has the longest playoff drought? And how
Mariners.
many years? No.
So 4 major sports: football, basketball, hockey, baseball. Correct.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Is it basketball?
It is basketball.
Our team has just been horrible forever. It's
uh,
not the Kings.
It is
Oh
the
my
Kings.
God,
yeah.
Do you know how
Let's
many
go,
years? Do you know how
let's
many
go.
years?
Well, they were good in the
Vlade-
Shaq and Kobe years,
Vlade
right?
Divac.
So what is it, like 2004?
Yeah.
Since then, something like that.
17 years.
Yeah, 2004. Nice.
Yeah. I do
Hey.
apologize though, Liam. You were correct. The Mariners have 20 years.
Yeah. Okay. I knew it was the
Can you
Mariners.
guess what the NFL team with the longest playoff drought is?
It's not the Browns anymore.
So the Lions.
No.
It's the Jets.
Yeah.
Jets.
10 years.
But yet when they had that playoff run, I'm not even.
All right, let's switch over to MLB. Huge day the other day. I know you guys are very excited. Playoffs rolling around. Stage is yours.
Before we get into the playoffs, Sean, I think we got to talk about the Mets.
The Mets have fired their manager, Luis Rojas, saying he will not be coming back next year. A first step in the cleaning house that I expect to occur in the front office this offseason. I guess the question is, what else do you want to see happen to the Mets this season?
Well, first of all, Sean, what do you think about this? Did you like Rojas as manager?
He was young and experienced, and with time, he possibly become a good manager. But we need somebody in here who's got experience, who knows what he's doing, and come in here and turn this culture around and build a team that can win a championship.
I totally agree. This team, the Mets are in. I think they're in a win now. They have to be. They have the best pitcher in the world. Great guys all around the field, and this is just. You're right. This is the start of cleaning house. They're gonna make some moves this offseason.
Sandy Alderson, staying or going?
I mean, Sandy right now he's doing 3 jobs. I think
He's doing so many.
GM, baseball.
He'll be
ops.
around, but is he the general manager? Yeah, he's president too.
I mean, the Mets have tried to get a GM past, 2 years now, and the Mets being the Mets, things have happened.
Well, I've seen rumors about Theo Epstein, Billy Bean.
Both
those guys come in. I'd give them whatever you want. President of baseball operations, whatever you want. Bring these guys in and let them construct you a team, because both those guys I trust.
I think, obviously, this upcoming year, there's no way the Mets are as injured as they are this past year.
No.
It's just not physically possible. With a good GM, and they're going to splash on a GM.
And a good manager.
Good manager, and
bring guys someone with experience.
They go out and get some pieces. I think they'll be okay. As disappointing as the season was,
there's flashes. Our starting
there were a
rotation
lot of flashes.
when healthy is
good.
Oh
yeah, it was tough when you have 60 some odd guys come up and down throughout the season. But yeah, I think the Mets definitely step in the right direction.
This is definitely a big step in the right direction. I guess switching over to the wild yesterday in the past couple of days, the wild finish of the season. There was a scenario going on yesterday that if the Yankees and Red Sox had actually lost and the Mariners and Jays had won, we'd have a 4-way tie, which I don't think has ever happened in the history of the wild card game. So
Never.
Absolutely insane last game. I love how baseball has all these games starting at exactly the same time. No team can rest their players knowing they're safe. No team can do anything like that. It's all just watching scoreboards and playing all your players, and it's amazing.
It is so awesome to me that you have a 162-game season, and it comes down to the last day.
Yeah. Game 162.
So we got to talk about Mariners. Made a great run. Nobody counted on them beginning of the season.
And I've counted them out as recently as last week.
I said last week, watch out, and they were one game. They need to win their last game, which they didn't, and they needed a couple other things to happen, which didn't happen. But hey, hats off to them, America's team.
Great season, and hopefully they can come around next year. I guess so. Switching over to the Yankees. Yankees did not want to make the playoffs. I was so excited to make fun of Yankees fans, but Aaron Judge with a very clutch hit got them to the playoffs. And I guess the question I have for you, Liam, is if you were a Yankee fan, what would be considered a successful postseason?
Beginning of the season,
it was a
World Series or bust.
Yes. At this point, or I guess, what leads to Aaron Boone keeping his job? What leads to them not ripping this entire thing down?
See, I've never been. I've watched a lot of Yankee games, lots of Sox games, lots of Mets games. I don't like Boone at all. I think he's very soft, and they have way too much talent. The Yankees do.
Their lineup is they have a lineup plus a bench that would start on many teams.
Way too much talent to not win that division outright. Obviously, that hasn't happened. The Rays have just again been unbelievable, but Yanks at least have to make it AL Championship Series, at least. If not the World Series for Boone to keep his job. That Yankees team is way too good to not be contending for a World Series, and anything less than that it's fireable, I think.
So I guess that's what you need. What do you think actually is going to happen? Because I could see them getting swept by the Rays. They could easily be swept by the Rays.
Yanks aren't winning this wild card game. They're playing Fenway.
Garrett Cole's
playing at Fenway. Yeah, Garrett Cole at Fenway. They're not winning this game, and it stinks because I think the Yankees had a much better chance against the Rays than the Sox do.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, I mean, shout out Aaron Judge. I do like Judge. I'm not a Yankees guy, but I respect Judge. Clutch hit. Saved their season.
They blew a lot of chances.
They
but
did.
Aaron Judge came up clutch when he needed to
They
be.
did.
That's
And
when
they're playing against a great Rays team that was not holding anything back. I just think that goes to show Rays are a force to be reckoned with. And Yankees get them. If the Yankees win this wild card game, you cannot take the Rays lightly.
No. The Rays are the best team in the AL, and they're going to play like that. And in these past 3 games, which meant very little to them, they won 2 out of 3 against the Yankees. So they're a good team, and it's going to be a tough series. You briefly talked about the Sox.
Mm-hmm.
I know you were picking them to beat the Yankees tomorrow night. Mm-hmm. Why?
I just like the Sox at home, playoff environment.
Do you think they can make a chance against the Rays?
No,
Probably not.
I just think the Rays are so good. Their pitching is unbelievable. They just have guys that can hit up and down the lineup. But I don't know. Sox scared me a little bit. Dropped a couple games to the Orioles. Dropped a couple games to the Nats. Games,
2 bad teams,
which they could have easily ran away with the wild card, and they didn't. Shout out to the Blue Jays. Best offense. One of the best offenses. It's got to be the best offense in the league, right?
Yes, I would. They have the best offense in the league.
God, they did everything they could, battled, won a bunch of games, but it was too little, too late. And I saw something on Twitter. It was so funny. It was a game in May, I believe, where they were beating the Tigers 2-1. And a throwing error with 2 outs in the bottom of the 9th. They go on to lose that game in extras. It just shows every single game is so important.
Every single play matters. It's just insane. 162 games coming down to the last game. You absolutely love it.
Yeah.
But
it's the best. So, okay, Sean, your take now. Sox and Yanks. This wild card game, who you got?
I would love to say the Sox. I would love to say that. But the Yankees are going to win. Yankees are going to win the wild card game. They're going to go on. They're going to give the Rays a run for their money. It's going to be a 4 or 5 game series. I can guarantee it. I think the Rays will end up winning that series, but it's going to be a push. I guess White Sox, Astros, just briefly talking about it.
I'd love Sox to win.
I think the White Sox can win that. I would pick the White Sox to win that. And then Rays, White Sox in the ALCS. That's going to be a fun
matchup.
ALCS.
As much as I don't think it's not going to happen, to have the White Sox win the World Series this year, I would love that. They are the New York Mets of the AL. And they have
baby brothers to the Cubs in the Chicago.
They have a great team, unbelievable pitching, and they've been hot on offense. They're coming in playoffs at the right time.
But the Rays in the playoffs are just a different breed.
The Rays in the playoffs have been...
They just replace them. Anybody comes in, somebody gets hurt, next man up mentality. Like, they're the definition of it, and they do it so well.
And I'm sure they'll have some random guy we've never heard of come out of this playoffs and just go on an absolute tear.
Oh, absolutely.
Switching gears to the NL, we have a classic wild card matchup in the Cardinals and Truett, your Dodgers, are playing.
Which is absolutely crazy. The fact that the Dodgers and the Giants have the best 2 records in baseball, both 107 and 106 wins respectively.
Crazy.
And the Dodgers are playing a 1 game outside their season.
It's not right. I think
it's just not right.
It's not right because anything can happen in that game. And Cardinals historically have had their way in the playoffs. Adam Wainwright, I believe he's pitching.
It's crazy.
Old
That
man
guy's so
Wainwright.
old.
Yeah.
I'm picking the Dodgers in that game.
Yeah. I think it's time for the Dodgers to finally break through. I think that they win this game. I think they have to be the favorite to go back-to-back.
Giants, Dodgers, you're picking the Dodgers in this?
Oh, yeah.
I'm picking the Giants.
As much as I would love to see the Giants
have been hot.
I just think the Dodgers, like the Yankees, have way too good of a team to not at least make the World Series.
And I know we talk about fluky games all the time, but you can't be fluky in baseball. You can't win 107 games just
true.
On luck.
That's very true.
The Giants are a very good team, and they're not getting the credit they deserve at all.
No, Giants are a great team. I just think Dodgers have too many weapons. And 107, 106 wins, it came down to the wire. Who knows what could happen? It's playoff baseball. Anything can happen. We saw that 2 years ago when the Nationals went on that crazy run after everybody counted them out.
Yeah.
Cardinals could win this game for all we know. Who knows? They won 17 in a row. They could be they win this game. You put up a little fight against the Giants.
Personally, I believe the winner of the Giants and then the wild card game, whoever wins that first round series, the Giants versus the Cardinals or the Giants versus the Dodgers, is probably my pick to come out of the NL.
I agree with you on that.
The Braves are good, the Brewers are good, but they're just not the same quality teams as even the Cardinals. They're a better quality team than either of the two of them.
In a 7-game series, I'd take the Cardinals over the Braves, 100%.
Yes.
And I mean, the way they've been playing, I'd take them over the Brewers.
Yes. So I think it's going to be if I were to predict right now, it'd probably be Rays versus the winner of that game. So I'd probably take the Giants. The Rays Giants is my current pick for the World Series, which is going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be a fun postseason.
I hate to interrupt you guys. We'll get back to more playoff baseball in a second, but we have a quick PSA. Are you feeling stressed from classes? If so, I recommend joining the campus ministry for a taste of mindfulness meditation on Mondays from 1 to 1:30 p.m. during the fall semester. Sessions will take place on Zoom. Contact the campus ministry for more information. All right, guys. So we got your series prediction. What about you for the World Series?
Wild card game. If the Dodgers win this wild card game, they're making the World Series.
But you picked them winning the wild card game?
Okay, it's one game. It's one game. Anything could happen. One error, one bad pitch.
Best thing about baseball.
It is. Yeah, I'll stick with my guns. I'll take the Dodgers in this wild card game. Come out of the AL. I'm gonna go Dodgers, White Sox.
Wow, we're completely different picks.
That's my World Series, and I really think the Dodgers are gonna finally get their non-Mickey Mouse ring. They're gonna win an actual World Series, and this is gonna be the year they do it.
How do we feel about the Braves? I guess both of us in the NL East, we've seen the Braves. They've absolutely destroyed the Mets this couple series. But do you think the Braves have a chance? Do you pick them maybe the Brewers? The Brewers going to go in there and sweep the Braves? What do you feel about that series?
I think in this entire playoffs, AL and NL, the Braves are the weakest team.
That's definitely true.
Brewers just have way too good pitching to not beat them, I think. However, I mean, Braves, you never know. They're missing their best player. Acuna's not going to play. He's out. Who knows? Hopefully he's back by next season.
Yeah.
But I just think the Brewers have too many guys that can just throw. Corbin Burns, Brandon Woodruff, Freddie Peralta. They're absolutely filthy. Who knows, dude? They could make a run too.
They could make a run.
Pitching. It's all about pitching, and the Brewers. That's what they do.
It's about, as we've seen before, the playoffs come down to pitching and timely hitting. It's not about the guys who can hit big home runs and just crush your way through it. But it's the tiny guys who can get that single, get you that double, get those guys moving across, lay down that bunt. Playoff baseball is about fundamental baseball, and that's why these teams like the Cardinals are so good, because the Cardinals play just such fundamental baseball. That's why I never pick the Yankees to go far, because the Yankees are a very streaky team. You hit a home run, great. If you don't, it's going to be hard to win games. And the Rays are also one of those teams really fundamental baseball, which I absolutely love. I love how postseason baseball is fundamental, which is just better to watch in my opinion.
Looking at the odds right now, the Tampa Bay Rays are the favorite to actually win the World Series, 17.4%. And I believe the Dodgers are... Oh, wow, never mind. Giants are 20.4. You think the Giants are the favorite to win this World Series?
Yes.
Wow.
They're being disrespected.
I mean, I don't know if I'm... They've been unbelievable this season. It's just playoff baseball where you have to play teams in a 7-game series.
But they had the experience. Bruce Bochy is an experienced head coach.
Just
he's not the coach anymore.
No, it's
Kaplan?
Gabe Kepler, yeah.
Yeah.
It's just all these guys having career years just out of nowhere. It's crazy to me because this never happens. But
sometimes all you need is to get lucky.
That's
get
true.
Streaky,
That's
get hot,
true.
and you get hot in the right time. And as we've seen it before the Mets, if we've seen it before the Nationals,
you'd rather be lucky than smart.
Lucky than good.
Yeah. Wow, 20.4% chance to win the World Series. That's crazy.
That's a huge
out of a team that had a 1.2%
What's the Dodgers
to make the
chance?
Playoffs. 14.8, I believe. Yes, 14.
The NFC West has taken 38% chance to win the World Series. The team out of the NFC West, which is crazy, but it's the best division of baseball by far.
Oh yeah. Also, I want to talk about this. Trey Turner going to L.A. as a Met fan. So happy. Not only to see him blossom, and he's had an amazing
You like Trey
year.
Turner personally?
I like Trey Turner. Now that he's not playing the Mets, I like him a lot. He's going to finish. Oh, we got to talk about MVP.
Yes.
AL MVP, Sean. Vladdy.
I was on the
or
Vladdy. I was
Shohei?
on the Vladdy train, but he didn't push him into World Series, and he didn't win the Triple Crown. So it's pretty clearly Shohei's winning that award.
So you really think if Vladdy won the Triple Crown, regardless
If he
of what
won the
show-
Triple Crown-
and they made the playoffs?
And they made the playoffs.
What if they lose first round?
Well,
Jays lose.
you vote before the playoffs, I believe.
Okay. But you think Shohei?
I think it's Shohei now.
Who are you taking out of the NL? Because I agree with that Shohei take. But
I have no idea who the NL MVP is going to be.
it could be...
It is up in the air. It's a competitive race.
Yeah, because, Bryce Harper had an absolute...
It's just
Lapse.
streaky guys. Nobody really
Yeah.
had a great season. In general, like, overall season, I don't know who I'd take, but like
I think it's going to be Juan Soto.
Juan Soto,
And-
it's so crazy. Think about the Nationals fans. Like, sorry, Nationals out there, but like Juan Soto, Trey Turner, and Bryce Harper, the three probably favorites to win the NL MVP, all were on the same team with you guys, and you guys all blew that opportunity.
And Juan Soto will not be there next year because he will be playing for the New York Mets.
They've lost all three of them within a season, within like a season or two. Like, it's insane.
Not to mention
drop off.
Max Scherzer.
Yeah.
God, dude, I don't know
And
what
the
happened
Nationals
with the
also
Nationals.
like 96 games this season. Like, terrible.
After coming off a World Series 2 years ago. Crazy. But yes, right now Juan Soto is the favorite. It's between him, Harper, and Tatis. And I think Juan Soto will win it. Marcus Stroman called him the best hitter he's ever had to pitch against.
Yeah.
And his approach at the plate, just as a 22-year-old, is nuts. Rarely strikes out, always puts the ball in play, always hits it hard, walks a ton. He's going to be a force to be reckoned with. I just hope
He's with the Mets.
he's with the Mets. Cy Young as well. We got to talk about that. AL Cy Young, you got Robbie Ray, Garrett Cole, Lance Lynn, and Jose Barrios right now.
I like Jose Barrios.
Like Jose Barrios?
Okay. Garrett Cole's probably one of the favorites to win it, but I personally would never vote
As
for
of
him.
now, Robbie Ray is actually the favorite. Posted 2.4 ERA, 1.04 WHIP, 250 strikeouts and only 50 walks. That's just stats on stats, crazy. Compared to Garrett Cole, who had a great season as well, finished 16-8 with a 3.24 ERA, 1.06 WHIP. It's going to be awesome to see him go against the Sox because he has not pitched well against the Sox.
No.
In his entire career, essentially. But
I guess switching over to the NL, which is it's sad to talk about an NL Cy Young Award race without mentioning Jacob deGrom's name because past couple years he's won it or he's been second, and this year he's had the promise. Like we're talking about like breaking.
He was on pace to have the best season as a pitcher ever in the modern ball era, which is absolutely unheard of.
And injuries just derailed it, which is really disappointing.
And now it's going to be the ex-Met Zach Wheeler most likely who takes it, which really hurts.
Which should be insane. It's just so painful. And the Dodgers it could be Max Scherzer, it could be Walker Buehler.
Yeah.
I kind of would want it to be Walker Buehler. He's definitely had one of the best seasons of his career, and posting a 1.33 ERA over a 10-start span, like just that's insane numbers he's putting up, especially late in the season. Like I would hope he wins it, but it's looking like a Zach Wheeler former Mets, which is the Mets have a history of former Mets players going out there and doing well. So
that's what happens. Last two, AL and NL Rookie of the Year. Right now in the AL, you have two Rays at the top. Randy, I can't even pronounce his last name, but he was the man who went off in the playoffs last year. Didn't qualify enough to be. He did not exceed his rookie limit, so that's why he's a rookie this year. And they have Wander Franco. The Rays are just doing something right in their development down there in Tampa. It stinks that they can't get any fans to games or anything like that. No attendance, but they're doing something right.
I would think it's Arrow's Arena because
gotta be. Look at their stats.
Like his stats, like his entering Friday hitting a 318, 393, 589 stat line, which is just insane. Best second half hitters 8 homers since the break. Hit into the Friday, leading the AL in rookies and hits, doubles, and walks. Like, he's just a complete player.
Yeah. He's a beast. And switching gears to the NL. Right now, the Reds' second baseman.
It's pretty clear.
Yeah.
It's not much to debate here.
He's an absolute beast. And I remember watching him in a series against the Mets. Led off the game with a home run. Next at bat, hit a double off the wall. Next at bat, he hit a home run. This kid, he's nice. And the Reds...
He has the best on-base percentage of any rookie in MLB history.
That says something. The Reds are going to be good. If they can ever get a pitching staff, next year's the time. If they can get Castellanos back, it's going to be a huge hole. But Votto came out of his shell this season. It was just too little too late, and the Cards overtook him.
Yeah. It's been a fun baseball season. We got a lot more fun to look forward to, and we'll definitely be recapping more of the postseason that goes on. So I guess switching gears to close out the show, I got my last trivia question of the day.
That's it, Sean.
Yes.
Michael Jordan, the greatest player of all time.
Oh God.
We won't get into the debate right now about that one, but
we're very split here in the studio.
What team did he lose to in his last playoff series? Who was the last team to beat him in a playoff series?
We're talking about his Wizards days?
So it had to be on his Wizards days, right?
In his NBA career. What was the last team to beat him in a playoff series? And what year?
Oh, God, what year did he retire for the 9th time? Was it 03?
03.
03.
So who was good in the East in 03?
If it's the Bulls, I'm gonna
I'd like to give you a hint. He never made the playoffs for the Wizards.
Oh, really?
Okay. There you go. So this had to be before the 6 championships, right?
No,
because they lost in
95.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
Oh, Last Dance.
Was it Shaquille O'Neal and the Orlando Magic?
Yeah,
Shaquille O'Neal and Orlando Magic are the last team to beat Michael Jordan in the playoffs.
The one kryptonite of that Bulls team, they could not defend big men.
What was that series? What did they finish? Was it? It didn't go 7 games, did it?
No, but it was Michael Jordan coming back after playing baseball for so long.
Was it 4-1?
I think it was 4-1.
And then Magic, yeah.
Penny and Shaq, what could have been?
Penny.
Injuries.
Would have loved if they got a ring together. But
Man.
Injuries and just
and egos.
Shaq leaving
Shaq,
for...
Shaq did what he... Shaq had a good... I'd say he had a good career.
Magic low
I
balls
feel bad for
so
Penny
much.
Hardaway, but...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, poor Penny.
That's the Orlando Magic summed up for you right there.
Yep, and Marco Fultz is living that legend right now. Let's hope Jalen Suggs has to deal with it too.
Exactly. All right, guys. It is 5 p.m. right now. This concludes our hour show. Fun in the Locker Room. Thank you for listening in. Stop by at 4 p.m. next Monday to hear more.
Nope, not next Monday.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, we have a break coming up. So 2 Mondays from now, we'll have many more NFL games, and obviously the playoffs will have started. And I'm sure there's gonna be a lot of news from that.
Yeah.
So tune in, Fun in the Locker Room.